Hi guys, welcome back to my channel here in Latina Plants. My name's Jackie. Thank you so much for coming and stopping by to watch this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new, welcome. I hope you stay for a while. Today, I'm going to be doing a repot of my Monstera Deliciosa because she was in dire need and I needed her pot for another plant, which was one of my ficus plants. I don't remember what she's called, but she's the green on green variegation ficus, and she was in dire need of a repot, so I decided to bite the bullet and repot the Monstera and the ficus all in the same day. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. So this is my soil mix here. It's a mixture of Fox Farm Ocean Forest soil, the Better Grow Orchid Bark mixed with the chunky perlite and charcoal, and then I added some extra perlite. Now I'm going to just loosen the roots up from the terracotta pot because the roots tend to stick to the side of the terracotta pot, and I'm just going slowly using this garden stick. So this Monstera is in a 10-inch pot and I'm going to upsize her into a 12-inch pot. So here I'm loosening her up a little bit more. I'm making a mess. A repot mat would have been useful at this moment, but I had not purchased it yet when I made this video. So yeah, this is why I ended up purchasing a potting mat. So the person that you see here to the left in the screen is my daughter. She assists me just to make sure that I didn't break my plant. And look at all her roots, you guys. She definitely needed a repot. She was drying out way too quick, especially because I used terracotta and chunky soil. She has a mesh that I'm gonna pull out of the bottom here that I use to plug the drainage holes. And I'm just loosening her roots just a little on the bottom so that she can spread out in the pot. And then we're just going to plop her into the 12-inch pot. So I decided to do this on the ground because she was so tall. I'm sprinkling some myco. And then we're going to go ahead and put her in the pot slowly. As you can see, she's going to have plenty of room to grow in here. I tucked in all of her aerial roots so that they would continue to grow and give her stability in the pot. I grew this Monstera from a baby. I actually got her from a plant subscription box that my husband had signed me up for when I first started collecting plants. And I'm so happy how well and big she's getting. I sprinkled a little bit more myco on top, and now we're going to backfill. I'm using the soil that came off because that soil is good still. I actually have been repotting her every year, you guys, because she's been growing that fast, and when I repot her I only go up one size just to make sure that she doesn't have any transplant shock or she's not sitting in water for too long. So as you see here, I'm backfilling some more. I did not add in any Osmocote because I tend to water my plants or fertilize my plants every time I water. Then I do a month of flushing, or a week I should say, of flushing, so I will fertilize for 3 weeks and then flush the soil the 4th week. Since I've potted her up in this pot, she's been holding more moisture, so I don't tend to have to water her every week. I used up all my soil, but off screen I will top her off and add some more soil. So here I'm showing you the mix. I do 1 part Fox Farm, 1 part Better Grow, and then 1 part Chunky Perlite, and I mix it all up. This is what it looks like. I love this chunky soil for majority of my plants. And now, after I topped her off, I'm going to put her in this bucket and then I'm going to water her in. I'm actually using fertilizer to water her in because she was due for fertilizing and I don't think that it will harm her. And I wanted to make sure that the soil was well hydrated, so I used this entire gallon of water to water her in. And I put her in a bucket so that I could save the excess water for another plant. And I'm using so much because her root ball was already dry, so I want to make sure the new soil along with the older soil is well hydrated. I wanted to add that I soak the terracotta pot ahead of time so that it doesn't wick moisture away from the soil too quick. So here's my ficus. She is the one who was in the most dire need of a repot. As you can see, her roots were coming out of the bottom, a really long root. I had no idea until I picked her up from her saucer and saw that root wrapped around the bottom of the terracotta pot, and I checked her because she had been giving me signs of something wrong. So here I'm pushing in from the bottom just to get her out. Luckily no roots were harmed, and as you can see, that must be like a taproot, and I'm gonna cut the mesh off because I don't want to harm that root. It's already been through enough shock by being outside of the pot, you know, drying out. But I've removed the mesh and I actually cut it to remove it because I was afraid of harming the roots. I know ficus like to be tight, but she was also drying out very quick, so I wanted to upsize her and her roots were coming out the bottom. So carefully removing the mesh here. I tried to change the angle many times so you guys could see what I was doing. And my daughter was holding the camera for me. So I'm using the same soil mix for my ficus, and I'm just going to add a small layer on the bottom, and then I will sit her in and backfill her. And as you can see, look at that big chunky root coming off the stem here, and you can also tell it's not too big of a upsize, so she should do just fine for the winter time. So because this is so chunky, I have to make sure that I'm filling the sides adequately and she's not ending up with too many air pockets. So just using my scoop to push the soil in through the sides, just tamping it softly and gently. And then I'm going to tap the sides to make sure that her soil settles. And we're also going to give her a really nice drink because she was also dry as well, and I wanted to make sure, again, the old soil and the new soil were well hydrated. Now this pot actually sits all the way into the bucket. I thought I wasn't going to be able to pull it out, but I was able to. It was a pretty snug fit, but I still could get my hands in there to pull it out. There's my daughter giving it a thumbs up. And I know that this is new soil and I didn't have to fertilize, but she was due for fertilization, so I did water her with fertilizer too. Since the repot they've been great. I'm going to show you a short little clip of what they look like now. And my Monstera gave me 3 new leaves, you guys. I do also have some questions about my ficus. Maybe you guys can help me. Leave your comments down below. And yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at them. So here is my Monstera and my ficus. Here she is in her pot. She doesn't look too happy still. I don't know, you guys, can you tell me what these leaves, why they look this way? I'm thinking fertilizer burn. I'm not sure, but her roots were coming out of her pot, so I repotted her. Hopefully that was not a mistake. Her leaves up top look really good. They have no issues, but I don't know what's up with the curling leaves and the discolored leaves. That hasn't changed since I repotted her, and it's been about 2 weeks, maybe 3. My Monstera took to the repot real well. She gave me 3 new leaves, 1 there and 2 over there. She's fenestrating, growing big and beautiful, and she looks really happy with her repot. So if you guys know what's going on with her leaves, please let me know down below in the comments. I'm really gearing towards fertilizer burn because I know that ficus can be a little bit sensitive to nutrients that you may put in the soil or in their water, and I think that's the only thing that changed before the repot. I had been using a certain fertilizer that I was using on all my plants, and this one is one of the ones that started to show you know, distress a little. If you know for sure what it is, let me know down below in the comments. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. The same as here, Latina Plants. And my name is Jackie. And I'll check you guys out on my next video. Bye!